Welcome to the All-in-One channel. I'm Kelley Rosano, and this is Cancer, July 2012. Cancer, happy birthday! We start off the month with the sun in your sign, and this activates you, how you show up in the world, how you present yourself in the world. It's all about new beginnings, your spirit, your selfhood, you taking action, you taking the initiative. Speaking of initiative, Mars goes into Libra on July 3rd, and this activates the foundation in your life, your personal foundation, your home, your family, how you nurture yourself, how you nurture others. Now, Mars is, like Aries, rules the I am. You know, our personal drive in life, our personal ambition in life. Mars is about single pointed focusness. What can I get done? And so Mars isn't the happiest in Libra because Libra is the we. What can we get done? What can we do together? What can we accomplish? So, you know, I think Mars it's going to be interesting watching Mars go through Libra. Although there is some relief because Mars has been in Virgo for 8 months. And now with Mars in Libra, you know, it is kind of a relief from the Virgo focus. Now we have the Capricorn full moon as well on July 3rd. And this is happening in the area of your life that has to do with partnerships, marriage partnerships, business partnerships. And this is a very intense full moon. So compassionate, cuddly Cancer, opposing emotionally tough Capricorn. Oppositions are awarenesses that come to us. So you're going to be getting a lot of insight and awareness about what's going on in your relationships, your relationship with self, your relationship to your husband or your wife or your business partners. And this Capricorn full moon conjuncts Pluto, also in your area of marriage and partnership and business partnership. So this is really intense. We are in probably the most intense time of 2012. This could be the most intense cycle. And so those of us that have planets and points and houses from 5 degrees to 12 degrees, Aries, Libra, Cancer, Capricorn, will feel this energy greatly. So it's very important that we stay consciously aware of what we're saying, what we're doing, what we're projecting, because this energy is so intense, it's very easy to go unconscious, and that's how we act out in negative ways. We are at the crest of an evolutionary wave that has been building for years. The first Pluto-Uranus square took place on June 24th. And it was the first of 7 exact squares that's going to change life as we know it from now through 2015. And the sun in Cancer also kicked off the T-square. It made a T-square because Cancer opposes Capricorn and both square Aries. So the sun went into Cancer and then caught up to Pluto at 8 degrees, opposes Pluto, and squares Uranus. And this is happening in how you show up in the world, how you do relationships, and your profession in the world. And Mars is at the bottom, and I'll talk about that in a minute. It's almost like a grand square. So you maybe feel pulled in many, many directions, Cancer. Many directions. You may feel like people are just at you and wanting so much from you, demanding so much from you. It's very intense. So the message is, for all of us, is everything must change. Everything must either evolve or dissolve. What is not built on love and truth will dissolve. Are you ready to make real changes? Do you trust yourself? I mean your gut instincts, your gut. Do you trust your gut? Do you trust your intuition? Do you trust your inner knowing? Do you trust your inner being? It's very important for you to look at this now, okay? Because you're being activated and you're in your birthday cycle, which means this is going to be an energy that hangs around, you know, through 2012 and 2013. And so it's very important that you are, practicing emotional honesty. Are you being honest with yourself? Are you being honest about your relationships? Are you, taking a stand for yourself? Because, it's about you looking at what you're doing at the job, what you're doing on the job. Is this the right job for you? Is this the right partnership for you? It's very important that you're looking at this right now. Uranus is pushing us to drive for freedom and innovation and reform, propelling us to move forward out of the cultural conditioning, the cultural programming, and take a giant leap forward into our future. Pluto shows us what's been hidden or denied. And for you, it's in your relationship area. So what's been hiding out in your relationship? What have you been tolerating? What have you been putting up with? Pluto forces us to face our shadow side and own our power. We all have a shadow side. And it's not about ignoring it or dismissing it. It's about owning it, because it's part of us. Pluto teaches us about power, how we get power, how we use power, or how we give our power away. So it's very important that you come to conscious awareness of how you are owning your power, being empowered, or are you giving your power away? Historically, Pluto and Uranus have greatly accelerated social and technological advancements. Pluto and Uranus are affecting the area of your life that has to do with marriage and partnership, business partnerships, the public, how you define yourself as an individual in the world, your career legacy, your success in the world, your reputation in the world, how you show up in the world. This is all being activated now. Uranus turns retrograde on July 13th through December 13th, forcing us to look at what has been keeping us enslaved. You see, Uranus rules freedom. Where do you need more freedom? In your relationships? In your personal selfhood? Where you work? Where do you need more freedom? Mercury the Messenger turns retrograde at 13 degrees Leo from July 14th through August 8th, helping us discern, are we living from our ego? Are we living from love? Are we living from our ego? Are we living from fear? Or are we living from our heart? Love. Are we living from our essence? We can either come from love or fear. And Leo rules the heart. So if we're living from love, then we're living from our heart. We're living from who we really are. If we're living from fear, then we're living from the negative. We're living from illusion. We're living from the false ego, the negative ego. Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury, calling us to be courageous and creative. Mercury rules the lower mind, how we think and communicate, our attitude and our intellect. Uranus rules the higher mind, our genius. So it's a good time to double check facts, make revisions and reconsiderations. Take your time when making important decisions. It's a very good time to take our time when Mercury's retrograde. Mercury's retrograde from July 14th through August 8th. And Mercury is retrograde in your area of your core values, your finances, your money, your sense of self-worth, self-respect, appreciation, your talents, gifts, and ability. So you are looking at how you're making your money, what you're doing with your money, and this is really good. This is a good focus to be doing while this Mercury is retrograding. And if you're thinking of purchasing anything, it's really good to wait till Mercury goes direct. I'm not saying hold up things. If you need to buy something, you need to buy it. But make sure you keep the receipt and make sure that you've read the fine print and you really, need this item at this time. It's okay to sell anything, but it is a good time for buyer to beware, because Mercury, the messenger, rules contracts, rules communication, and when he's in reverse, we don't always know everything. We don't always see everything. We can miss things. And then later we can go, oh, I wish I waited. I wish I was a little more patient. So patience will really pay off for you now, Cancer. Now, we are riding the waves of enormous change. And your new moon on July 19th now has Mars at 8 degrees Libra, opposing Uranus, squaring Pluto. Okay. And the new moon is in your first house. Okay, so now it is like a grand square with you. 4 squares, okay? How you show up in the world needs to change. How you do relationships needs to change. How you're working in the world needs to change. Where you're living, who's living with you, what's going on in the home. Mars and Pluto rules passion and willpower. Mars is our personal desire. Pluto is divine will. Mars opposes Uranus, and this is in your home and your career, what you do in the world, what you're doing in the home, is all about driving us for freedom. I want more freedom with where I work. I want more freedom in my home. But it also invokes rashness and impulsiveness and intolerance. Mars square Pluto, and that has to do with your home life and your marriage and partnership, as well as your business partnerships. Rules reform, but it also rules ruthlessness, domination, and violence. And violence isn't just physical. Violence includes language. Violence is anything that causes separation. What we think and say can wound or heal. We either come from love or fear. When we come from love, we use our words to heal and empower others. When we come from fear or hatred, we use our words to hurt others and disempower them. Be aware, Cancer. Are you being empowered by your relationships or disempowered? Are you empowering yourself or disempowering you by how you talk to yourself, how you treat yourself? So it's very important that we all stay consciously aware now. Now, Saturn, also in Libra, in the foundation of your life, in your family and home life, your personal foundation, how you nurture yourself, is squaring the new moon. Now, this is a good thing. Now, oftentimes we think squares are bad, but you know what? They're not always bad. In fact, they invoke us to action. Sometimes trines aren't good because we don't do anything with them. We just sit back, have a margarita, and go, hey, what are you doing? We don't get anything done. But when there's a square, we get things done. So with Saturn squaring the new moon in Cancer, it's actually a blessing, because Saturn will restrict this energy, will restrict people acting out negatively. And Saturn is calling us to make changes through peaceful action, through peaceful means of practice, of nonviolence. Let's all practice nonviolence. Let's be mindful of our thoughts, our words, and our deeds. Okay? Very important now that we stay consciously aware, because a lot of people are asleep and they're not aware of what they're doing. They're not aware, and they're acting out negatively. And so it's very important, Cancer, that you set boundaries with those that are not kind to you, that are not practicing respect with you or appreciation of you. The Cancer new moon is all about taking care of our inner needs. What do you need to feel safe, secure, and balanced? We act out in negative ways through ignorance and exhaustion. Many folks are deeply asleep to the enormous changes taking place now. So they're acting up. They don't know the astrology. They don't know what's going on. And the energy hits everybody. Okay? And so that's why knowing our astrology is so important, because it lets us know what's going on, the energy we're working with. And so Prime Creator is also using all of these new moons, full moons, the Venus transit, the Venus eclipse past the Sun, even the Pluto-Uranus square, to pour divine cosmic love light energy into us, to cleanse us. We are being pulled through the eye of the needle. And that is raising our consciousness, expanding our consciousness. However, it's also making people that aren't awake or aware of what's happening act out in bizarre behavior, weird behavior. So be aware if you're acting out strangely or others are acting out strangely. This is why. And we want to practice boundaries with compassion. Okay, setting boundaries. Okay? Retaliation only fuels the negative and creates more negativity. So if someone's hitting us with negative energy, they're trying to get our light, they're trying to get our energy. And we want to set a boundary with that. Don't feed the energy. You can't fight unless, it takes two to fight. And if you don't go back, don't engage them, then they can go off and fight with themselves, which is really what's going on. They're just projecting onto us, targeting us, and we're getting pulled into it. So don't get pulled into other people's negativity. Don't get pulled into your own negativity. Keep your vibration high. Keep your thoughts high. Take care of yourself. Take a walk on the beach. Take a walk in the woods. Do things that energize you and empower you. Now the good news is on July 21st, we have an enthusiastic Jupiter in Gemini sextile Uranus in Aries. This is going to give us brightness and ignite original perspectives. Now this is happening in the area of your life that has to do with what you do in the world. Now this has to do with what you do in the world and what's going on behind the scenes. So there can be, some sort of breakthrough at work, what you're doing in the world that comes from sources you didn't even know, like someone that you weren't even thinking about comes in and makes you an offer and does something to help you with your work, work in the world, and this is good. Then the Sun enters expressive Leo, the lion, on July 22nd, encouraging playfulness and creative self-expression. Leo rules the part of your life that has to do with your finances, your money. So there could be some sort of breakthrough that comes in here for you, Cancer, July 21st on, because of the Uranus-Jupiter sextile. And now when the Sun goes into Leo, that also sextiles Jupiter and trines Uranus. So there could be someone that comes to your aid, if you've been having some difficulty on the job or with your business, that brings resources that you didn't have, something you didn't know, financial resources, and this can give you some positive upliftment by the third week in July and the last week of July. So it's very important to keep the faith because there is good things on the way. And the outer planets, the Pluto, Uranus, they only take that which is obsolete. So our job is to let go of what is dissolving now so that we can create the space, make the room for the good stuff that wants to come in. Yes, July is an intense month, especially the first 3 weeks. We are being pulled into the future. Let go of what no longer serves you. Every adversity, every setback, every handicap carries with it the seed of an equivalent or greater benefit. Look for the value and the benefits in your life. Focus on what you can do and release what you have no control over. And that includes family, colleagues, friends. We have no control over what other people are saying or doing. Responsibility is the ability to respond. So be proactive and remain positive. Your future is very bright, Cancer. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking and sharing my videos. Thank you for subscribing. You rock. Thank you for your comments, your letters, and feedback. And when you feedback on YouTube, it gives others a chance to comment as well. Because I don't always get a chance to comment back to everyone. But there's so much wisdom in our YouTube community. There's so much wisdom in our podcast. I'm podcasting out through many networks. Many people are listening to these podcasts. And there's so much wisdom, life experience, and knowledge to share by everyone. And we are creating community here. So please feedback right on YouTube. And I just want to say thank you to all my clients. You're totally awesome. And if you would like to work with me and have me take a detailed look at your transits, your astrology, your timing, and or you're interested in coaching, it's very simple. The link is below. You click on the link and it takes you to my PayPal page. Then you choose the length of the session that you want. Once you have made that commitment, I email you my schedule. You choose the day and the time that you want, and then we're off and running, rocking and rolling. So until next time, Cancer, keep looking up.